Listen, man, the late 90s and early 2000s was wild in gaming.
I I I can't even comment because I just wasn't there. I was still stuck in my dad's balls. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was just not there. I was not
You
there.
you were still on the microscopic level. I get you. I
Yeah,
get you. No,
I
I'm
haven't even
old.
loaded into the server yet. I haven't even loaded in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Start Talking. After about, I think, what is probably a bit more than a year's off of a hiatus thingamajig. I'm your host, Berwi, and tonight I am joined by.
Hello, everyone. It is I, Saytrgoat, your local Twitch goat mom. And thank you so much for having me here. I will try to be as awake and alert as I can. I normally don't wake up quite this early. I'm not used to seeing this much sunlight, but we're gonna do what we can.
Sounds good, sounds good. Hey, you know what they say? It never hurts to wake up early. But first question is, what time did you go to sleep last night?
So I went to sleep. Oh gosh, I got done streaming early and I actually kind of laid down early. I think I went to sleep about midnight.
Okay,
So not too crazy, not too
okay,
crazy. Normally I don't pass out until like 2 a.m., but I wrapped up early last night.
okay.
So
Okay. That's okay. That's not too shabby. Two a.m. is I feel like 2 a.m. is a pretty well, okay, in the context of like VTubers, a pretty normal time for them to sleep. Cause
yeah,
like
that feels like the pretty classic that feels like the pretty classic streamer bedtime.
right. Cause like you'll end stream at about like what 12 a.m. or like if you're feeling it like 1, and then you'll just spend another hour just doom scrolling or just scrolling on like TikTok or something, and then you'll go to bed. Cause you'll tell yourself, oh, I'm gonna go to bed at like after immediately after I go end stream, and then you pull out your phone, and then it's over.
Oh yeah, no, it's doom at that point. So I do have the advantage of my husband works in the mornings, so like out of respect for him, I try to wrap up usually around like 11:30 midnight. That way he gets some peace and quiet, and then we usually just kind of vibe and relax.
Right.
So I'm usually pretty good about a consistent bedtime. But what is sleep? I mean, really, what is sleep but a form of fast travel to the future?
What is sleep but a form of fast travel to the future? That is a string of words. I am the first in my bloodline to hear that sentence. All right. Interesting. I've never thought about it that way. No, like cuz usually I think of sleep as, oh no, I have to do this instead of being able to do like literally anything else. Like I have this is a bodily biologically mandated activity. If I don't do this, my body's going to shoot itself and I'm going to feel it. So yeah. But okay, an expressway to the next day.
It's fast
Where
traveling to the future.
fast travel. Where did that come from? Like, what's the logic behind that?
Well, like it's the classic mentality with things like Skyrim and stuff like that, where you wait 8 hours to get to the future. Um,
Oh,
so like if you ever need to, it's like the video game logic of I need to kill time, so you have like the little cutscene, and sleep is just like the little loading screen between the times that you wait.
oh, oh. Okay. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, because quite a number of like
Yeah.
those MMORPG games. I mean, like they do have like the fast travel. The one that I off the top of my head that I can remember was this Minecraft RPG. It's called Windcraft. If you've heard of it. It's basically just like super modern Minecraft to become a essentially classic MMORPG. Really nice. Music's good, textures are good, gameplay's pretty not too bad. Yeah, I don't know. It's just nice. It's nice and simple for like the MMORPG fantasy nerd like myself. Even though I don't really
Legit,
play a lot, but I'll
legit,
say
legit.
that I'll say that it's I'll say that I'm a fan because I play that game, you know. I can't really claim to play anything else though. Like I do not ever see myself playing Final Fantasy or any of like the others. Yeah, just too much time commitment. And I know that if I get sucked into it, I'm never getting out. Like I will never, for instance, right? Like if I were hypothetically in that sort of hell right now, this podcast is never coming out because I'm just gonna keep on telling myself, oh, okay, I'll do it after I fish. Okay, I'll do it after I grind out this last bit of XP for like, I don't know, my carpentry or something.
Oh no, it's like the old classic cartoon Jackie Chan Adventures. It's the uncle just going one more thing. You never get to the ending because there's always one more
Yeah, just
thing.
one more thing. One more thing. Oh, it's just ugh, that is so oh oh my god. That
Now,
is
I think we originally coined the fast travel line in my household
mm-hmm.
because of like sleeping on long car rides. Um
Oh.
because one of us would grab a nap in the car and then that it's literally just the equivalent of fast traveling in a video game because you blink and suddenly you're somewhere else and and you're in a new area.
Okay. Okay. Okay, that's all right. Huh. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
It's weird.
it's like you're fast traveling in a video game.
Yeah, it's weird because I've never thought about it that way. Like I've always thought of it as just a car ride. Like I get from point A to point B, but I never put two and two together to think, oh wait, this is low key on the low key, kind of like me just from this fast travel merchant to like another part of the map as the exact same thing, except that of course, you know, it's air conditioned and I don't have to sit in the back of a cart being drawn by a person on horseback, and then he'll ask me, "Oh, are you finally awake, stranger?" And then proceed to offer me like
Finally awake, Ranger.
10 different types of like fruit or like some weird ass conditional pendulum that I'll need for this one niche aspect of a side quest in an obscure part of a town I don't even know existed.
Right. I will say though, the waking up and the you're finally awake
Oh, you're
is like
finally
the
of course,
classic scene.
of course.
Um, it's so iconic that in Goat Simulator 3,
Yeah.
they use it as the intro to Goat Simulator 3. They literally recreated it with the goat that you play. It's so good.
I've only played the first one, but that was when I was a kid. So like I if I recall correctly, they had it on the iPad, right? Because I was an iPad kid. Like I'm not that old, but I'm like not that young either. But I'm just kind of in the in between. So yeah, it's basically the generation that's like a bit after well not after, but like it's how do I put this? Basically like the right generation to grow up with like and find out and grow with YouTube. Not the ones before, not the ones after. Just the right one to just kind of see it through the years pass by. You know, so you get like very nostalgic like watching shit like well, I mean Minecraft Kid, right? So Dan TDM for starters. That was good. Popular MMOs before all that shit happened to him. Just like to name a few.
I I have the advantage of being the old lady in the gaming community, being in my mid-30s,
Okay.
where I got to see some iconic golden days of gaming. Like I remember back when Fortnite wasn't even a thing yet. I remember back when the newest legend in League of Legends was Volibear. Um, yes, I am that old that I remember when they released Volibear the first time in League of Legends. Um,
Right.
say the classic golden days of Modern Warfare 2.
Oh,
Tactical nuke incoming.
oh, the fabled, the what do you call it? The lobbies that they speak of in legends, the
Yeah,
ones that turn children into men.
back in the days where if you wanted to play Halo with the fam, you had to take your Xbox to their house with you and hook up to a separate TV
Oh my god. Oh, I
and
wasn't.
hook them all together with wires.
That sounds honestly. Okay, I've come across those like that one. There was like this one Instagram reel I've come across where it was the caption was like me and the boys on a Saturday night, and it's just a literal LAN, and then they're all just playing Marvel Rivals. I I thought that was the shit, and then I saw another reel that was them just all playing Halo, and I was like, holy fucking shit, that's peak. That looks so fun. There's like multiple monitors, and then There's Mountain Dew. You've got your Doritos. All the usual
You know,
suspects. Oh yeah, and then they're just
I
having such a good time.
I I remember being a kid and the controversy of when Grand Theft Auto 3 San Andreas came out. And parents were in an uproar because you could hire a prostitute and then run her over with your car to get a refund.
Wait, wait, what?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's some retro gaming. As much as it pains me in my old face soul to refer to it as retro gaming, back when San Andreas came out, old Grand Theft Auto. I'm pretty sure it was like Grand Theft Auto 3. Uh, you could you could hire a prostitute in Grand Theft Auto, and then when you were done with the cutscene that ensued, you could murder her or run her over with your car and then loot her body to get your money back.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't even want to know the mental gymnastics that players, like young kids, or I mean, I guess
Listen, man, the late 90s and early 2000s was wild in gaming.
I I I can't even comment because I just wasn't there. I was still stuck in my dad's balls. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was just not there. I was not
You
there.
you were still on the microscopic level. I get you. I get
Yeah,
you. No,
I
I'm
haven't even
old.
loaded into the server yet. I haven't even loaded in.
I predate loading into the server, so I understand. I am old gamer hag, old gamer mom.
Wow.
It's why I'm your local goat mom, because half the kids running around on Twitch are almost young enough to be my kids, and I'm like, oh, it's terrifying.
Oh my God. Wait, so when you say like young enough, do you mean uh,
I'm 34, so
right,
if anyone's like the late teens, early 20 streamers out
right,
there
right.
that are just getting started, I'm like, oh, you weren't even alive when I graduated high school. Oh,
Right. Okay, that's interesting. So if okay, so going off of that, like what do you think actually like of streaming as, someone who's I mean in their 30s? Like how like what do you think you see differently compared to like younger streamers, right?
oh man. So it's an interesting thing coming from like seeing the rise of like YouTube and back before live streaming was even like a thing.
Right.
Um, like I being old enough that I remember when like owning a digital camera was the coolest thing ever because you could make videos on a VHS tape. Like
Right.
that's my era of life. So I think just seeing the rise of streaming and how just advanced it has gotten in comparison to like how it used to be when I was a kid versus like because it seems so simplistic.
Right.
Like to a degree, like in the modern time in the scope of the modern day, streaming is such a simplistic thing. We
Mm-hmm.
we have a program, we share what we're streaming, and it's so basic now.
Bam, bam, bam. Right there.
But yeah, like it's so basic. Like it's an aspect, it's a facet of modern day technology that we're just so used to. Um, that like I think a lot of people don't necessarily appreciate like just how wonderful it is that we even have the means to do so. The fact that we can just push a couple buttons and broadcast to literally the world. The fact that we can have a program where, we are an adorable anime character making a show on the internet and like
Mm-hmm.
that's such a commonplace thing now that I think people just don't realize how insanely amazing that actually is. Because even like what 20 years ago, this
Mm-hmm.
would have just been like, oh man, like remember YouTube slop videos where it's literally just people throwing music and it's like text
Oh yeah.
and
Oh,
like Windows
classic.
Media Player.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
like
yeah. Yeah.
like seeing the rise as I got older and just seeing how it's advanced is it's mind blowing sometimes. And I think it's one of those things where just like if you didn't grow up with it,
Right.
you won't have the same appreciation. Um and this feels like such an okay boomer moment, but just like it's kind of like it's weirdly nostalgic looking at like technology and what we can do now,
Compared to
and
back
then
then.
realizing that this is literally the same things our parents went through when the Game Boy first came out. Like, what do you mean there's a screen in their hand that they can play a game on? What?
Yeah, like what do you
Like,
like what do you mean this thing is not what do you mean I have a computer in my hand? I thought a computer is like this clunky old machine, Macintosh, that type of shit. And it's like it'll just
bro,
load really slowly. Oh, the maximum storage was 500 megabytes. Nowadays it's just 5 terabytes if you
listen,
can.
I remember when peak technology, like the pinnacle of home computer systems,
hmm
was the classic, like, translucent iMac computers that came in all of the bright colors.
I'm trying to
Like,
I'm trying to picture it using my fake memories as a obviously not 30-year-old person. This is difficult.
it's all good. Imagine it's imagine when your computer
hmm
was like 35 to 50 pounds and you had to have like a reinforced desk so that it didn't buckle under the weight of your monitor. That that was the day. Now back in my day,
Holy
kind of
shit.
situation.
Holy shit. Wow.
But yeah, so it's wild being an older streamer and just
hmm
seeing how far we've come. Um, it's kind of like our own modern day moon landing in a way. Like
Mm.
obviously none of us knew what the moon landing was like, but
Right.
like
Right.
we've essentially gone to the moon in terms of technology.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think like the movie I can probably quote off the top of my head, Back to the Future. Like when they're traveling to like 2016 and then they see the flying cars and it's like, holy shit, this is the year 2016? No way. And then the real
Right? I remember the worst part is I remember watching those movies growing up
Mhm.
and being so excited for 2016 because yeah, we're gonna have flying cars in 2016. And as an adult, I'm like, God, I was a dumb kid. Jesus.
Way too optimistic. You don't have like flying car. You don't have flying cars. You have like flying hackers in video games. You've got literal planes as video games, right? Microsoft Flight Simulator, right? As like a start. That's
Hmm.
insane. Insane how accurate it is, like to an actual simulator, and the fact that you can just purchase it and just get the what do you call it? The extra equipment needed, right? Your stick, the
So
and whatnot, right? Like that's wild.
yeah.
Like many years
Well,
ago,
so
it would just you have to go to like some out of basically like really inconvenient place to do like any sort of flight sims. But now you can just do it from the comfort of your home. That's crazy. You can even do it on your phone.
if you wanna hear something that's gonna really like blow your mind in terms of how technology advanced.
Yeah,
So I told you I remember being a kid when the iMac, the bright translucent big old computers were brand new.
yeah,
The high end, like 1999, the highest quality one you could buy
yeah.
was half a gig of RAM
Nah, nah,
with a
nah.
13 gigabyte hard drive.
How much was that?
How much to buy it? Or yeah,
Yeah,
13
like
gig hard drive.
yeah.
Retailed for what about 500 bucks, I want to say.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's different times. We are like truly in different times.
Yeah, the
Holy
world
shit.
has the world has definitely changed since then. But yeah, that puts in scope though, like how
Mm-hmm.
much technology has adapted since I was a kid.
Mm. Okay. Okay. That's really interesting. Then, like, just to follow up on that as well, do you think that it's went too fast? Do you think like how do I put it? Humanity. Well, not humanity. Okay, I'll
Oh
put
man,
it
we're
simpler.
we're trotting down some philosophical pathways here.
Nah, it's not. It's not.
So I don't necessarily think that technology has advanced too quickly. I think going a little higher thinking here. I don't think that the technology has advanced too quickly. I think it's more a situation where we as a people and as a society
hmm
haven't necessarily learned to appreciate what it can do yet. we're still, in terms of our appreciation and understanding of what technology can do, most people are still learning to walk while some people are like sprinting marathons.
Yeah.
Um, and part of that's a generational thing. Like obviously a lot of the older generations, like older than me,
Mm-hmm.
um, like they look at smartphones like, what is this nonsensical thing? What do you mean it has games built in? How do I uninstall solitaire? Like it's like you
Yeah.
have people like that, but then you have trying to think how to phrase it. You have like
The opposite, where it's like you have like those 4 or 5 year old kids that are just suddenly the gods of gaming on like
right, yeah,
whatever they
like
touch.
the 5-year-olds that can like you give them any modern like Dark Souls, throw Dark Souls at a toddler, and there are some kids that'll like, this is too easy, and I'm like, no,
Yeah.
screw you.
Yeah, this is too easy. I mean, the boss is too slow. Give me something. Give me a real challenge. The type of thing. Like that is such a crazy thought. Wow. But that's interesting. You don't think it's like progressed too fast? Do you think it's just right, or do you think we're a bit behind? Because you talk about
Like,
like the idea of people not appreciating like the technology. So you think that if they took a moment to just slow down and just think about, wow, this is such an amazing thing I have on me. Let me see how I can use it to the true fullest instead of just using it for face value. Do you think that it would go
I
further
think
than
I think
that?
if people took a moment to stop and consider like different applications, like so like real talk, we are at a day and age in technology
Mm-hmm.
where if we genuinely invested in it, like if we took the time, you could make some like Tony Stark level nonsense.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Um like but it's we don't prioritize. I think it's and that's what it is. I think it's just our priorities aren't there.
Right.
We're so caught up in the instant gratification and the need for entertainment at our disposal, like instantaneous entertainment, instant gratification. There we go. That's We're so obsessed with instant gratification that we don't think about the fact it's like, guys, we could literally build robotic limbs that like react and learn people's habits
Yep.
and like eventually function like an actual replacement limb. Like, and that's why it goes into the dangerous word here, AI category, where like people are so
Right.
obsessed with all of the wrong things with AI. And I'm like, don't get me wrong, AI art, theft. I will stand my ground adamantly. I will die on that hill. AI
Yeah, I mean it's
is
it's
a terrible thing
it's
in the creative space,
yeah, it's
but
mindless.
in like medical fields and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
like you could have an AI algorithm that learns a person's like muscle movements and stuff like that, and like you could essentially create a synthetic limb so that like if they eventually lose that limb, you
There's a
could have a
solution.
program, yeah, like it'll replicate their movements and how their body moved.
Right. Uh, yeah,
Like we could technically do that now, but that's not where the priority is.
I see. Okay. Okay. That's yeah, I mean, because like despite how technologically advanced we are as a society, there's still like many different like aspects and fields that we are kind of stagnating or just if anything falling a bit behind. Like I think you've probably come across the sentiment from younger people, or I mean just in general, you're reading online, just any amount of news, or hell, people just ranting on whatever social media saying like, oh dude, I can't find a job, like, oh god, everything costs so fucking much, I get paid so little, it just feels terrible, and
Yeah,
the
and
world is moving
there's no
so
reason
damn
for it to be
fast.
that way.
Yeah. It's like moving way too fast for them, so they can't even stop up to take a moment to breathe because of like what you said of the idea of like instant gratification. Right? Like so everyone's so caught up on that speed, caught up in that moment that they just don't even like stop, They don't signal before they turn, they just turn. And and they
Yeah,
knock if they
like
knock into somebody, it's like, oh shit, well, I guess I just won't knock into somebody again. Let me reverse real quick.
it's the crazy thing of like, so like growing up, like when people would just go to the park to hang out and walk around the park, they don't do that anymore. Like
Hmm.
people are always so. I think it's not the technology is moving too fast. People
Right.
are moving too fast.
Ah, okay. Okay, 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 okay. Yeah.
Like we we have the knowledge of the world in the palm of our hands, and like in the form of a smartphone. If you think about it, we have the collective knowledge of all of history. Every piece of information you could ever want
Mm-hmm.
to learn about is in the palm of your hands,
Mm-hmm.
and 99% of people will use it to just doom scroll Twitter.
Right.
And
And
like I think that's like the scope of like when I say prioritization
right.
and how people use technology, I think
Right.
that's a good example where we have, like I said, we have the vast knowledge of mankind easily accessible in the
Mm-hmm.
palm of our hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same issue with like people going like the @grok on Twitter to answer questions. I'm like, guys, you could take 2 seconds to just look that up. Like, stop having the computer. Like, you could have just looked it up. Like,
Right.
I don't know, man.
But it's, I mean, like, but for them, it's easier. And that's
Yeah,
the issue. It's easier.
it's people instant
Yeah.
gratification.
Yeah. And I guess it lulls people into just kind of forgetting and trying to just take, shortcuts. Like, I think I want to preface, shortcuts are not necessarily bad, but they are contextually either the one of the best things you can do for yourself and your work, or it's just the absolute worst thing ever. Because taking shortcuts can involve like skipping certain safety checks, right? Just in
Mhm.
any field that is any field really. To anywhere where we talk about stuff like uh coding, right? Where it's like, oh, okay, I can shorten this code if I just do an input, so and so this particular string. Wow, I just saved myself six or seven lines of code. Um, but yeah, like just bring it back to the idea of just people using the technology in the face value manner and not trying to go past face value is
Yeah.
kind of just the unfortunate side effect of having everything in your fingertips. Because when you have everything in your fingertips, why do you want to get up and reach for something when you can just ask something to reach it for you, right? Like,
Well, and I think to a
yeah.
degree, the same issue with that, with the ease of everything and that need for instant gratification,
Yeah.
people have gotten rude, man.
Oh,
Like,
oh,
as I've gotten
definitely.
older, people have gotten terrible.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
because
for
it's
sure.
you develop an expectation, like I said, of instant gratification. So like, and they want to apply that everywhere. It's like, so like if you go to a restaurant and it's busy, there are so many people who will just get so toxic with the staff at a busy restaurant because like, well, it's taking too long. Where's my food? Dude, you're one of like 100 people that they're trying to cook food for right now. There's 3 guys in that kitchen making like 1,000 orders right now.
Right.
Like not like low key, not even kidding. They're working through a queue of like several hundred things right now. Like, have some humanity, like
Mm. Mm.
people want what they want when they want it, and they don't want to wait, and it's sad. And it's the same thing with like how easy it is to be toxic to people online, especially
Oh, I
like
mean, it's so easy, right? Like think about it. You're hiding behind an online profile, and technically, so long as you don't reveal any amount of information about your location, about your address, right, you can say whatever shit you want. Like realistically, until somebody just takes their time out of their day to go after you and start tracking all the details and everything. But I would
which
say
that's its
at
own
that
other
point, so
nightmare.
yeah, I mean, like I would say at that point that's like a different thing entirely, but it's also a self-inflicted thing because you could also just not be an asshole and then that wouldn't happen to you. You know what I mean? Like you can, yeah,
Yeah.
like you just could choose to not want to be a sad sack of shit, but there's an active
Well,
decision in typing that message out and then sending it to somebody else. For a multitude of different reasons, right? Like I can list you at least like three or four off the top of my head. um it's just some people just do it for fun of the game, right?
yeah,
They
there's
just like
some
get.
people that speak out drama just for the gratification of it.
Yeah, yeah, and wouldn't you know it, VTuber space is a.
Weird, yeah, like,
Oh
right? It's
yeah.
literally can't go online any day of the week. You can go online,
Yep.
and yeah,
This
you will
is my
find some
experience.
VTuber drama somewhere.
Guys, please don't interact with this person. You won't believe what they did. They sneezed without muting their
Oh, the
mic.
call out
Oh god.
posts and
The
the
Google Docs.
like for the doxing. And well, for me, it's just like, guys, if you don't like the person, just don't interact with them. Like
Right.
it's classic playground logic. Like, just don't talk to the kid you don't like,
Right.
guys. Like, just go like. people don't have to engage with things, and I feel like people don't understand that anymore. Is it's okay not to engage with something.
Right,
It is
because
perfectly fine to just scroll on.
right, because the issue of that is that they've already been conditioned by the device to just have instant gratification. And so because they interact with anything that's instant gratification, right, they respond to it, right? So even if it's instant gratification of something that they didn't ask for but they don't want to see, they will rather just interact with it and then tell, whoever it is, or just insinuate that they do not want to see this, or they just insinuate like, why the fuck is this, is like this da 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 on my screen,
Well,
you know something like that, instead of just, yeah, instead of doing like what you said, just ignore and then just move on, and then boom,
and
one less thing.
like I'm gonna say something here that is gonna genuinely be like hot take, super controversial. Don't cancel me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, People have been like nurtured in a way where they think their opinion matters,
Right.
and hot take, it doesn't. Like, and
Ah,
that's
okay.
the part that blows, that I think people don't comprehend,
Right.
is like someone's like, "Oh, well, my stance is the correct stance because I've been raised to believe that my opinion matters." And I'm like, "Sure, your opinion matters sometimes." But like there are times where guys, your opinion, like there are times where someone's opinion just doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I eat waffles instead of pancakes for breakfast,
Mm-hmm.
and someone's coming out of left field like, "Oh, waffles are terrible, pancake superiority,"
Right.
and I'm like, "That's cool. I don't care. I'm still eating waffles for breakfast, guys." Like your opinion about pancakes being better doesn't matter if I like waffles.
Right.
And there are people who would take that and run a whole like anti-waffle smear campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
Or
guys, why? What is the amount of energy that you're putting into this like worth this? You can have a different opinion. Like that's my favorite saying is everyone is entitled to their incorrect opinion.
oh, I feel like I've heard that one quite a fair bit, even around here. Yeah, I mean, because I mean, like at the end of the day, right? If you think about it, in the grand scheme of things, you are just, I mean, what are you? You are just a living creature like the many, many others on this planet, and you're not different, you know, like by much. You still share the fact that you're all human, right? Maybe there's a difference in so-called quote unquote spawn location, right? And the tools and people that you meet starting out. But it doesn't change the fact that like you're still human. Like you could compare the Queen of England or something to yourself, but you realize, both you have
Ah, may
one
she
thing in
rest in
common,
peace.
right? Like both of you are, human. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
not. It's. I mean, personally, I don't think it's a hot take to say that. Yeah, I mean, your opinion doesn't matter because who are you? Like honestly, like you know what I mean? Like look in the mirror and
Right.
ask, who are you to say all this, and then like force it upon someone else. Of course, you're
Like
entitled
you
to
get these
believe, but yeah.
well, and you get these like crazy like influencer quote unquote on like TikTok and all that stuff, or like, yeah, I'm super rich and wealthy at the age of
Oh
22.
yeah.
Like, look at my 7 Lamborghinis. My opinion matters more. No, it doesn't, dude. Like, your opinion doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you think this $1 million thing is cool? Like, look, unless you're paying me $1 million to
Mhm.
agree with you, I don't
Mhm.
care what your opinion is. Could not be bothered.
Yeah. I mean, and that's fine because like the world doesn't owe you shit. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people, not, well, okay, at least for the ones that I do see online, right? Because I'm speaking mostly from an online context and even sometimes IRL too, but a lot rarer. Um, People don't understand that, the world doesn't owe you shit. Now, you technically you don't owe I mean, no one owes anyone anything. It's just a matter of principles and personal values,
Yeah.
right? Like there's no, like, you're not gonna get lightning strike or struck, sorry, lightning struck if you don't, repay the nice old lady at the supermarket for, for giving you like an extra banana or something. You're not gonna get shot out of nowhere by some insane final destination type shit from like halfway across the world just because you didn't help, uh yeah, just because you were not courteous enough, right? Which actually I feel not a lot of people even have anymore in general. So any amount of courtesy, just seeing in public courtesy would just be nice instead
Yeah,
of
like
like,
just be decent people. Like don't worry about what you get out of it. Just be nice to people.
yeah,
Like
yeah, but
everyone's so worried
yeah,
about what's in it for me, and I'm like, why? Just don't
yeah,
be a dick.
yeah, because again,
It's the
it's
classic rule. Don't be a dick.
yeah, but then the follow up, unfortunately, is, oh, but what do I get out of it if I don't be a dick? And it's like, oh,
Why does it matter?
what's
That's
it?
not the point. Just don't
Exact.
be a dick.
See, because there's a level of self importance. Because looping it back to
Entirely.
what we
Yeah.
talked about before, because of what our little handheld device, and in particular our social media, has done to brains, right? Where it makes
Yeah,
you the
it's
center of attention.
immediate gratification
Yeah,
and
yeah, a whole like,
entitlement. Yeah, no,
yeah, full
100%.
circle, full fucking circle. It is so insane. It is genuinely so insane to see it just like a silent, no, not really a silent thing, but like in a weird way, it's just infected. I mean, quite literally, just infected, polluted. People's like perceptions of like what is and what isn't, and how to conduct themselves and how to react accordingly. Like, no, you do not. That person does not need to does not need to do this for you just because you did this. Like, there's not a expectation, unless it's a in a business context, right? Like, it's a written agreement or something to that degree, and even then the other party can choose not to honor it, but of course they'll suffer legal consequences. But that's
Like,
business context, right? Like, if we're talking outside of it, like, um could you help me like move this up a hill, and then like at some point I'll do something for you, and then it's like, okay, I'll help you move this up a hill, and then you're like, oh, I'm calling you on you for that favor. Can you help me with this? And you should be okay to. You should expect them to say no. Actually, I feel, unless you've known them for a really long time, they usually help you. But even then, I feel that if someone were, if in that context, I would just straight up ask, yo, what's going on? Like, are you okay? Like, what's good, or what's bad, right?
I
But
think, I,
yeah.
th- I think one of the mind blowing things, like not technology related, but
Mm-hmm.
just really does show the level of like elitism and entitlement and stuff.
Right.
So like my household practice is what we jokingly referred to as Midwest sensibilities, where like if
Mm-hmm.
we're walking somewhere and we see someone approaching, we hold the door for them because it's the nice thing to do.
Right.
Like it's a simple free courtesy, but like I'll watch people just like slam a door, and I've seen some people straight up just like walk in and pull the door shut behind them, and like I'm like, why? That's so rude. But we also like my family also does the thing where like when we're
Mm-hmm.
done eating at a restaurant, we stack our dishes and like we like tidy up the table.
Yeah.
And I've had people literally give me crap like, well, that's the server's job, or that's the busboy's job. I'm like, so? Like
I'm making his
they
life
they
easier
don't
for him,
get paid
man.
enough to deal with like they don't get paid enough to deal with this.
Yeah.
And like part of that's a cultural thing. Like you go to other parts of the world and
Right.
like there's an expectation that you tidy up after yourself when you're done eating.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it's such a rude, terrible thing not to do that. So inconsiderate to the people that come after you and the people that have to tidy. Like, and it just I think part of it is a cultural thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like people grow up in different cultures and they
Mm-hmm.
grow up in different households and communities, and there it's a huge like layering thing of like what goes into it. Like it's not any one factor, but
Yeah.
like it's just wild seeing how inconsiderate people can be sometimes over some of the most basic things. And then like the opposite is also true. Like there are people like when you go to a restaurant,
Yeah.
I have seen people have the hot take of like, if you can't tip $20 on a $30 bill, you can't afford to go out to eat. And I'm like, that's not true.
Yeah. It just always seems to end up being in like hyperbole or just extremes, right? Extreme ends. There's never the idea of compromise, right? There's no idea of like, oh, what's the more sensible thing? It's just more like, oh, it's either the left, the far, like, sorry, not left. Well, yeah, like either the 0 or the 100. It can never be 50
Yeah,
or
there's no in
60 or
between.
40.
It's
It's 0 or 100. And I would also attribute that to like just kind of social media as well, because of how the language used online is very emotional. It's very charged. It's very uh, what's the word I'm looking for here? Uh, hmm. Yeah, just like something along those lines where it's just very
so
exaggerated.
social
That's
media is such a powder keg of
Oh, dude,
like
it's a packet of shit.
it is. It's wild, man.
Yeah, it
Like
is.
social media is so wild. Like I remember, like hear me out, dating
Mm-hmm.
myself here again.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one when MySpace was a thing that existed. Um,
Yep.
so like I remember when MySpace was the super popular thing and nobody used Facebook. And then like I remember still being in like high school and putting Flare on my Flare wall on MySpace. And like that was the coolest thing ever. And now there's just like infinite drama on Facebook. And I'm like, man, I miss the old days.
Yeah.
I miss when there wasn't nothing to do.
Right. It's always that idea of like hindsight is 2020. Hindsight always
Yeah.
2020. It can never not be 2020, you know? And it sucks. It just really, really sucks. But um to try and at least pull things back on a more positive note.
Positive. Yeah, less.
Well,
We
positive.
we said no politics, and then we went real political there.
Well,
Whoopsie poopsies.
I feel like that's more of a commentary on just society. Personally,
Yeah,
personally, personally, it's not
that's fair.
like
That's fair. That's fair.
it's not like going attacking like left, right, or center, up, down, backwards, Australia, all this. No,
Oh yeah, I don't
you know,
subscribe to political ideas. Everyone
yeah,
sucks equally.
yeah. This is just like a it's just like a kind of internal realization of like, damn, this period is so weird, and technology has had such a weird factor in, making it better and also making it worse. But I mean, I feel that as humans being more pessimistic, right, we tend to end up looking at like the more negative side of it. That's why doom posting and doom scrolling are literal terms we use.
Mhm.
That's why stuff like dark humor is so affluent now, right, compared to last time. So
Yeah,
to make it a bit better, slightly, right? What would you say would be things that you would like suggest for people listening or watching this to try and just weave into their daily life to make it less, like shit less shit mentally, or just make them feel better without being at someone else's expense?
I think. Oh man, so this is such a weird one because my journey to like self positivity and like self care, because that's a big thing with my channel. Is my community is
Mm-hmm.
all about like building each other up, and like we joke about aggressive positive affirmations. You don't have to love yourself, we'll love you for you. And that's like the whole shit with my community is we are very big on supporting and helping people through the darkness, because the world can be a pretty dark place.
Oh
Like
yeah, no.
anyone that's been alive for more than 10 seconds realize, man, the world kind of sucks sometimes.
Yeah,
um
it does.
you get like 10 seconds of relief for the first 10 seconds, and then no, it's downhill from there. But no, I think I think a big thing is just a few key things to keep in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like you mentioned before,
Mm-hmm.
you don't owe anything to anyone in terms of like who you are as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is so easy to get caught up in what everyone else expects you to be or wants you to be, that it is so easy to lose the sense of who you actually are. Um, and the only person, like, a big thing is the only person whose opinion about you matters ultimately is
Yep.
your own.
Yeah.
Like, if you're weird, be weird. Be strange. Listen, I am a like, if you ever see me in real life, I half the time I look like a Viking, because I love my attire in that regard.
Yeah,
Like, I've
sure.
got tattoos, I've got crazy hair, I dress wild sometimes. Like, be yourself, and like there will always be somebody, no matter what you do, that will try to rain on your parade. Just bring an umbrella.
Nice.
Like, yeah, it's I've long stood the ground of be yourself unapologetically. Um, because like so many people, we live in fear of like, how is this person going to react? Are people going to judge me?
Mm-hmm.
Blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares? Who cares if some person you were never going to interact with, like, especially with like younger kids, it's so easy with like, what are your peers going to think of you? Listen, I will tell you from experience,
Yep.
99% of those kids that you're worried about right now, you're not going to see ever again the moment you graduate. Don't care about them. Care about you.
Yeah, you hear that? Hear that, guys? Guys and gals and everyone in between, you hear that? You don't need to care, just be you. I mean, obviously don't
Just
don't hurt anyone,
be
but
you.
like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like, don't, like, there obviously there's limitations in
Yeah, of
that.
course, of
Like,
course. Yeah.
don't don't be a bad person. Don't be a dick. The number one golden rule in life. Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Um, but like, if it's so there's a beautiful rule that I like to follow, which is, if it harms none, do as you will. It's referred to as the witch's reed. It is very classic in a lot of pagan folklore. I myself am a practitioner of witchcraft, and like the founding principle in terms of like when you need to make a decision about what should you do, if it harms none, do as you will. And that means if it doesn't harm you, if it doesn't harm others,
Yeah.
like if there's no harm in what you're doing,
Yeah.
just do it. Like don't stress about it. Um,
All right. All right.
I
That's
think
pretty
I
cool.
think another I think another big thing is also just remember to take time for yourself. Find little things that happy. Every day doesn't need to be, a new video game, a trip to Disney World. Like, you don't need to be expensive and throw around a lot of money every single day to be happy. Find like for me, I bought a bunch of Pop Tarts on sale. You know what? That just makes me happy that I can go to my pantry and I have 7 boxes of Pop Tarts, and it makes me so happy because it's the silly, dumb thing that brings me joy.
Hmm.
Um, or like I bought a box of tea that makes me happy, or like it's these little things that are ultimately tiny, like insignificant, in the grand scheme of the multiverse, they don't matter, but they bring me joy, and they're simple little things that bring me joy.
That's great. That's great. So it's just about the what did Bob Ross say? Oh yeah, happy little accidents.
Happy little accidents. It's about the little things in life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. That's great. That's great. Also, I just picked it up as you were speaking. You know Richcraft?
Hmm.
How
Yeah, I'm a practitioner of very nature-based witchcraft.
that is uh I mean, where do I even begin asking like the origin story? What the fuck? I gotta know. I mean, you piqued my interest. Come on. How'd you find out about
So, oh man, all right.
it?
This is a bit of a wild ride. So I'm gonna preface this with everyone's story is different. Everyone has their own backstory, their own origin story for anything. Um, so oh gosh, what started me on the path? So I was raised in a very like strict religious conservative household. So like I was told, this is the way it is. There is nothing else. Anything else is a lie. Blah 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 blah. The traditional rhetoric, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but it never felt right. It felt like there was something missing. Like I felt like I was getting an incomplete story. So as I got older, I kind of wanted to expand my views and my horizons a bit. And obviously, I grew up with like the Hollywoodification of witchcraft and how they portray it in media and the exaggeration that it is, and you know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah, like Harry Potter and stuff.
Harry Potter, Hocus Pocus, all that fun stuff.
Yep.
Um, so like obviously I knew to a degree it existed. And like I knew that like other cultures had different beliefs, and I guess curiosity kind of compelled me.
Right.
Well, one day my big like triggering event, my that
Awakening.
moment that I crossed the threshold, yeah, my awakening as it were.
Yeah.
I was, and again, this is going to sound crazy to anyone that doesn't understand or
Uh-huh.
doesn't have an open mind, so go into this with an open mind. So
Okay.
I was walking through the woods.
All right.
Um, and while walking through the woods, I encountered a one-horned deer, like a one-antlered stag, in the woods. And like when I saw it, I just felt overwhelmed in a sense. Like I was looking at something, but I wasn't seeing what I was actually looking at, if that makes sense. Um, I was seeing a deer, but it was more than that. Um, and I suddenly felt just this immense like weight of the world in a way, this sense of like some greater higher authority like watching me and judging me and like taking
Whoa.
measurement of me, and like
Right.
sorry, sinuses, but And it was a brief interaction. Like it was off in the distance. We made eye contact, but it's like it touched that place in my soul
Mm-hmm.
where I always felt something was missing. That missing part of the story. And then I watched as it turned away, walked off, and just disappeared behind a tree.
And you never saw it
Um,
again.
Never saw it again. I went to where it was with the friend that was with me. I had a friend with me, which was nice because it helped reaffirm the whole thing.
Right, right.
Um, and we didn't find any deer tracks, nothing. Like it straight walked behind a tree and disappeared.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
but once it looked away, there was this weird sense of like acceptance, like you're okay to be here. I let you be here kind of thing. Um, and the way that we like what we took away from it is that we had essentially encountered like a spirit of the deer in the woods and like the local like protector of that area of the woods spiritually, and it judged us and was like, all right, you're cool, you can be here. um and like it was mind-blowing. It was the weirdest surrealist thing to go through. um and like it helped that like as a kid I had an appreciation for the supernatural, like going back to the whole be yourself shamelessly, I was the spooky kid that was obsessed with ghosts and werewolves and stuff.
Right.
And I didn't care, like I knew they were real. I 100% knew it. They were real. So when this happened, I'm like it just kind of like affirmed some things for me. But yeah, so I walked away from that with just this very surreal experience,
Mm-hmm.
and I needed to know more.
Mm.
So I knew some friends of friends that were of different theologies and beliefs and stuff like that. So I started asking around. And that's when, I learned more about like animism, which is the belief that like everything has a spirit. I started diving more into different folklore and different theologies and mythologies and finding all of the things that made so much sense now,
Mm.
and like things that resonated with me in a way that I couldn't truly explain, but they just felt correct. Um, and yeah, that's kind of what started my journey. Um, I've had a few different supernatural experiences. Like I've encountered ghosts. I've lived in a haunted house before.
Oh shit. Wait.
Haunted. I've lived in haunted apartments before. We aren't typically pushed away by those things in my household. And I live in a very pagan household now. Like my husband and our partner are
Yeah.
both very mentally and spiritually open about stuff.
Right.
Like I have a whole altar in my living room that's currently dedicated to the Fae and to Gaia, and
Wait. Sorry.
like a whole
When
altar in my living room.
when you say Fae, do you mean as in FAE? That Fae? Or
As in
is
like the Fae of folklore, like the fair folk, the like fairies, satyrs,
oh,
um,
that is
that kind of thing.
that is interesting. Okay, sorry, because I,
Mhm.
I was about to nerd out for a bit, because the only, and I apologize if this offends you a little bit, but the only exposure I've had to like fairies, or like I mean like the fates, like as far as in media and stuff, is a funny little game called Fate Grand Order. Because you know, because that game basically is for anyone who doesn't know, is how do I explain this? It takes different people from different folklores, histories, and just yeah, like anywhere really. As long as it's as long as it's in a history book, they will make something up about you. Like the most famous example, Arthur Pendragon, but they turned him into a woman, and then they also released a male version, but that's in a different timeline. So it gets very messy. Anyway, my whole point was that in one of the main stories, like I think in the second part of the game, there's a whole chapter dedicated to exploring like the Fey lore, or at least like briefly touch upon like the fact that there's like two or three of these like knights, and then they have like specific names. So off the top of my head, I mean, I guess you can chime in if any of these names sound familiar. There's one. I think they're like called they call themselves like Tamlin something something Knights of the Round Table. Because at first they're trying to essentially impersonate the original Knights of the Round Table. So like Gawain, um, Lancelot, Tristan, right? But that's not their real names, right? So for instance, you have like
Right.
Barghest, Melusine, Babahan Sith, right? Like these, like so that's their true names. But then they take the names of like the original Knights of the Round Table, and then they just like falsify it as their own. So I thought that was just really interesting to bring up. I understand if it has no connection whatsoever to whatever you just said, but I just figured I'd
No,
mention
you're
it.
good. You're good. You're good. You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, a totally different thing, but it's all good. Listen, I like so I am polytheistic, which means that like I believe in multiple deities.
Right.
I've developed a mentality that like I don't know which one is correct, so I believe all of them could be a thing. Um,
Right.
there's no reason why they can't coexist. But but yeah, so that's my journey. That was like I'm yeah, I'm now your witchy satyr enthusiast, hence being satyr on Twitch. Um, I make potions. I do some of the cliche things that you would think witches do. They're actual things.
Oh, all the cliches had to be based off something, right? So,
Well, like I have a potion that I literally just made the other day.
hmm
It's an extract of mint and clove. It's great for tooth pain. It's an organic
that is
herbalism
really interesting. Okay, do you
solution
do
for
you, do
tooth
you, do
pain.
you do you have a potion to push procrastination away? I could really use one. Like, I would buy like a whole year's of supply.
Coffee. Coffee is great. Coffee because if you don't sleep, you can't procrastinate. Can't say you
Nice.
don't have time if you just never sleep. Um,
Okay.
but
Okay.
no, there's a whole thing. We could spend hours talking about it, but
That is really interesting. Okay, okay. I mean, I definitely do want to like talk more about it, but unfortunately, I have to go because other places call for me. And also, usually these episodes are like around this time anyway, of like 1 hour ish, so it's easier for me to edit. Because the mistake I made with that 3 hour episode was that I let it go on for 3 hours.
you do have to learn when to wrangle it in. Well, I will say, this has been a delight. I'm more than happy to come back again and do more of these if you ever want to have me back.
Yeah, for
We
sure.
can
I
always
do.
pick things.
Yeah, we gotta talk. We gotta talk about some more witchcraft stuff like that. That is so interesting. You are the first
Yeah, like
person
the
that I
witchcraft
met.
stuff.
Yeah, you're the person that I
I
met
got to
that's
say
like a
about those
witch.
haunted houses that I lived in,
Yeah, yeah, that would be great.
my IRL ghost stories. So, but yes, I will. I definitely understand life is calling. You gotta go do some stuff. So I'm more than happy to wrap here if you want to. No worries.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah. So as per tradition, I always ask my guests this, but is there anything else you'd like to promote? You'd like to like say, like just to the listeners and viewers watching, listening to this podcast?
Just kind of like a last message to the viewers. Um, the world is crazy. Crazy is fine. Remember to take time to love yourself because, in the words of the immortal RuPaul, if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you gonna love anyone else?
My goat. Get it? Because
All
I'm sorry,
right.
that's so bad.